Hey everybody, it's nice to be back. Well, can you believe it? We're nearing the end, I think, and seeing some light at the end of a very long tunnel. I'm going to start us off as I usually do with our tribute, something vintage. Way back in 1971, there was a fantastic TV show called The Old Grey Whistle Test. Now, this is a show that featured alternative music to pop and was, for some of us, a progression from the more juvenile top of the pops to something more in-depth. Now, the name of the show was derived from Tin Pan Alley. Tin Pan Alley was a big collection of music publishers and songwriters in Manhattan, starting up as far back as 1885. They were so called because of the ongoing noise from many pianos being played at the same time, sounding something like pots and pans being smashed together, and that's how it's got its name. One of its very first famous songs that came out of Tin Pan Alley was Take Me Back to the Ball Game. Anyway, it was one of Tin Pan Alley's traditions to test out their new tunes by playing it to a hotel doorman who were known for wearing their grey suits. Now, if the doorman could remember the song after only hearing it a couple of times, and if he would whistle the tune, it was considered a success as it had passed the Old Grey Whistle Test. Now, the theme of the show was played by Charlie McCoy. It was called Stone Cold Fox. My favourite host on the show was Bob Harris, affectionately known as Whispering Bob due to his soft voice. Here's a sample of Stone Cold Fox.
This is BBC Two. Now Bob Harris introduces this week's edition of the Old Grey Whistle Test.
That takes us up to the 80s. Now, this is a tricky decade for me because the 80s wasn't my favourite music, but there's always going to be some good stuff in there. And if I was 10 years younger, I'd probably think it was the best decade of ever. I know that my sister would be picking a whole bunch of different tunes. Mark Knopfler is pretty highly respected these days as being a brilliant guitarist. And although he changed direction from back in the days of the 80s, back then he had a huge hit with Money for Nothing. Now, the story goes that Mark was in a department store in New York, and while he was there, he overheard a bunch of delivery guys who were complaining about reality in comparison to everything they were watching on MTV. This inspired Mark to sit down in the store and actually pen this song right there. The words in the song are things that the guys actually said. He later collaborated with Sting, who added to it, and it was a huge hit.
your brother, that's his own hair. That little Queenie got his own jet plane, he's got a helicopter, he's a millionaire. And we got an instant microwave oven.
That takes us to Bob Geldof. Formerly the lead singer of the Boomtown Rats, and most infamously being the organizer for Live Aid. Bob's been in the news in and out over the last decades for not so happy reasons, but that's his personal life. I just always really liked him. Their big hit was I Don't Like Mondays. This song sadly was inspired by a killing spree that had happened in Cleveland in an elementary school in '79. And I guess it affected Bob. However, he didn't want to address the killings directly, and it just came out through the lyrics. I just loved the sound of it.
The silicon chip inside her head gets switched to overload, and nobody's gonna go to school today. She's gonna make them stay at home. Daddy doesn't understand it. He always said she was good as gold, and he can see no reasons, 'cause there are no reasons. What reason do you need to be shown? Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot the whole day down. The telex machine is kept so clean, and it types to a waging world. A mother feels so shocked, father's world is rocked, and their thoughts turn to their own little girl. Sweet 16 ain't that peachy keen. Now it ain't so neat to admit defeat. They can see no reasons, 'cause there are no reasons. What reasons do you need? Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot the whole day down, 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 shoot it all down.
Another great song, called Money's Too Tight to Mention, was performed originally by the Valentine Brothers. They wrote it in response to the Reagan years in the States. And if you listen, you can hear it being referred to as Reaganomics. There was a huge recession in America at that time, which affected mostly, as usual, the working class, and in particular the poor black communities. Now, as is often the case, the song did not do that well for the brothers. They certainly didn't get rich from it. Mick Hucknall, though, the lead singer of Simply Red, heard it and it struck a chord. He himself was raised in a very working class background in Manchester. Manchester and the northern parts of England were also suffering a recession at that time. When Mick recorded the song in 1985, it became a huge hit, and he sang it with gusto.
Been laid off from work, my rent is due. My kids all need brand new shoes. So I went to the bank to see what they could do. They said, son, look like bad luck got a hold on you, but it's too tight to mention. mention. Oh, money, 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 money. I went to my brother to see what he could do. He said, brother, I'd like to help you, but I'm unable to. So I called on my father, Father, Almighty Father. He said, money's too tight to mention. Oh, money, 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 money. Money's too tight to mention. I can't even qualify for my pension. We're talking about Reaganomics. Oh, sitting down there in the Congress, they're passing all kinds of bills from out there on Capitol Hill. Now they're telling me money's too tight to mention. Cutbacks. Money's too tight to mention. We're talking about money, money. 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 We're talking about money, 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 money. We're talking about the dollar bill and that old man that's over the hill. Now what are we all to do?
Paul Simon brought out Graceland in 1986. It was his 7th solo album and it was majestic. There wasn't a bad song on it. For me, I listened to it over and over. It was strongly influenced by a bootleg cassette of South African street music. And because he was going through a hard time personally, he decided to get away. And he visited Johannesburg. During that time, he connected with and recorded local musicians. Using their influence, Graceland emerged. Here he is accompanied by the Ladysmith Black Mambozo.
Diamonds on the soles of her shoes.
People say she's crazy, she got diamonds on the soles of her shoes, yeah.
Well, that's one way to lose these walking blues. Diamonds on the soles of your shoes. She was physically forgotten, but then she slipped into my pocket with my car keys. She said, you've taken me for granted because I please you. Wearing these diamonds, I could say, ooh. Yeah, everybody here know what I'm talking about. Yeah, everybody here knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm talking about diamonds on the soles of the shoes. Walks down the street, he says, why am I soft in the middle now? Why am I soft in the middle? The rest of my life is so hard. I need a photo opportunity. I want a shot of redemption. Don't want to end up a cartoon in a cartoon graveyard. Bone digger, dogs in the moonlight. Far away, my well-lit door. Mr. Beer Melly, get these mutts away from me, you know. I don't find this stuff
my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can call me out. A man walks down the street, he says, why am I short of attention? Got a short little span of attention, and oh, my nights are so long. Where's my wife and family? What if I die here? Who'll be my role model now that my role model is gone, gone? You duck back down the alley with some roly-poly little bat-faced girl. All along, there were incidents and accidents, there were hints and allegations. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long lost pal. I can call you Betty, and Betty, when you call me, you can call me out.
Well, that takes us to the movies of that era. In 1986, John Candy gave us The Great Outdoors. This movie has special memories for me because it was one that I loved to watch with my boys when they were kids. It had the best end scene, what with Dan Aykroyd dancing his crazy head off to The Land of a Thousand Dances by the great Wilson Pickett. Enjoy.
To the memories.
To the memories.
Chester.
Buckley! Get the hell in the car. We gotta beat Uncle Homer. Move it, everybody! Let's go!
1, 2, 3. All right. Got to know how to hold it. Like on him and rolling. Mashed potato. Do the alligator. Put your hand on your hip step. Get your backbone slip. You know what to say. Like my little Lucy. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Need somebody to help me say it one time. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. You know I feel all right. Huh. Feel pretty good, y'all. Huh. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Come on, y'all. Let's say it one more time. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Got to know how to hold it. Like on him and rolling. Mashed potato. Do the alligator. Put your hand on your hip step. Get your backbone slip. You know what to say. Like my little Lucy.
Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to coming back with episode 12 of What's On at OOR HOOSE. Until then, take care. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. I look forward to coming back with episode 12 of What's On at OOR HOOSE. Until then, take care.